So, as I just said, I want to talk about how you can expand your consciousness so you can become more you, and share a little bit of my experience with you so you don't go the same ways, and after 3 years you're like, okay, that didn't do anything for me. So, what did I do? Things that didn't work? Give me 3 minutes or four until I started sharing things that worked. So, meditation, right? Classic. So the problem with meditation is like paradox. You try to use concentration to get out of concentration, and it calms your nervous system. It can help, but look around. There's so many people that meditate for years, right? And they make such they even make a new personality. So their monkey mind creates a new ego, but when all they want is to get out of the ego, you get it. Meditation is a way. I don't want to say don't do it. It's just for me, it was not enough. And if you have meditated now for over 2, 3, 4 months and not much has changed, or even years, and not much has changed, maybe try something new. So, also, I read so many books. So many books. Oh my goodness. And I understood it. Still, to understand it intellectually does not help you to get out of your mind or behind it and then use it. You're still being used by it. One book I can highly recommend is Effortlessly Mindful, or so Effortless Mindfulness, from Locke Kelly. Because there, he's not using concentration to get out of concentration, but he's giving you glimpses of okay, what is it like to be in my natural state versus thinking. So one of those, just to give you two examples, right? One of those two examples is really look at your finger, right? And then you focus on your finger, then you focus on the space between the finger and you, and then you kind of focus on who's watching the finger, and then you get an idea of, wow, here I am, right? Or my favorite, that was actually my glimpse of awakening. It was if you think, right, thinking happens to you, then you blah, 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 purposefully think blah, 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 and then you expand blah, 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 blah. And at some point, you start to pay more attention to the space, the room, the silence between the blahs and the blah itself. So let's do it together. Blah, blah, blah. Look who's here. Do you realize that you're not your thoughts, right? But to, let's say, stay in that state, you might have a glimpse, but for most of us, our conditioning is so strong that our nervous system kicks in the moment we leave a beautiful place and go somewhere else. So you have to work on your karma, your conditioning, blah 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 blah. There's Eckhart Tolle, yeah, but I haven't met any other person, or I didn't even meet him, but that's not how it works normally, from my experience or what I observed. Still, there are some people in that world who are very, very present, very, very much in the here and now, and not like talking about it like Eckhart, but who are so intense that they can initiate you and even work on your energies. So they, with their energies, and I know this sounds very crazy. If you're new to the topic, if you're already spiritual, you will be like, everything is one and everything is connected, and also, right, with your senses, you can also only perceive like a very small spectrum of light. Same for sound, blah 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 blah. So, and also like touch, smell, everything. So for one moment, think about like what is around you that you can't perceive. I believe like when you take the day, like from what I recall from one of those books that I read, when you take the distance from the Earth to the Moon, and you'd say, okay, that's all the data that's currently around me. You know what your perception of your conscious hallucination that you're experiencing, right? I mean, your brain is giving you these images of plants, trees, my elbows, and my strong arms. This is like your brain, or my voice, right? Your brain is giving you the sound. So all the data around you, Earth, Moon, distance, versus what is your brain giving you as a conscious experience. Earth, Moon, distance to 2 meters. 2 meters. Like, imagine there's this long, I don't know what, road or so from the Earth to the Moon, and all you see, hear, and feel of it is 2 meters, and the rest is black. So now, whatever, like, you can be a scientist or whatever, and can have so many PhD degrees, I don't care. But what do you really know about this world? Or how the universe is really made up? There are so many interesting theories, but that's another topic. We were talking about how to expand your consciousness, or in other words, how can you be more you, right? And as I said, there's some people that can work with the energies that you can't see, feel, or whatever yet, but have really understood and practiced the human potential. The human potential, like we're incredibly powerful. We're just like caught in conditioning, beliefs, and blah 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 blah. Unfortunately, I only know one person, and he's from Austria. So even if you do speak some German, but that's the intellectual stuff that he's giving you. But as I said, he works on your energies without you noticing it. All you notice is that you're much more in flow after you've attended one of his online sessions. Much more in flow, much more relaxed, much more yourself. Your problems just like solve themselves, or sometimes you finally have conflicts. But the thing is, like, he once asked, like, when there is lime juice in the lime and you like squeeze it and it comes out, has the lime juice been in the lemon before or not, right? And for me also, like, when I started to attend his like online sessions, yes, I got more relaxed. There's so much joy, and still, oh my gosh, so many conflicts, but you know, all these conflicts really like dominating dominating, ignorant man, very abusive mother, and stuff like that. That were things that I were conditioned to behave, right? And it made me literally sick. Still, I couldn't get out of this. I couldn't break free. And so there was this conflict already. And now that I'm doing like, I'm not allowing people to mistreat, dominate, or abuse me anymore. I'm experiencing all these conflicts also because I'm not yet so calm, right? At some point, when someone wants to like talk from above to me or whatever it's called, I can be very calm at some point. But for now, I'm like, don't you talk to me like that. But that for me, that's progress, okay? Because before that, I was like, yeah, just mistreat me. I'm used to that. That's how I survived my whole life. Right? Even my voice, you can maybe feel like it's a little bit scratchy. It's like some sort of process, even with my voice, because my throat chakra is opening. I know for people that have having to do with spirituality, probably you won't listen to that video, but it's like, what is that girl talking about chakra? Well, what can I say? I once studied math and then I worked in project management, IT for 10 years. And I thought I knew it all. But you know, talking about consciousness and the expansion of consciousness, let me quote that Austrian guy. He says, and I believe it's very true, the greatest force that works against consciousness is the ignorance of people that believe they already know everything. And I had to go through a depression and stuff until I understood that I don't know anything. And now I know that I know pretty much nothing that I know, but I can rely on my direct experience and interact with the world quite freely, much more freely than 2 or 3 months ago. 2.5 months ago, I started to work quite intensely with that Austrian guy. And for me, that means like to attend his online sessions Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Central European time. So for me, like I can tell you from my experience, and probably there are even more ways and experience out there, but there are a lot of ways to get to your core, to get to that inner peace, to get enlightened, whatever. There are a lot of ways, right? I'm not enlightened, but it's like I had glimpses of it, and I intellectually understand that there are a lot of ways, and also I practiced some of the ways, and I understand that it works. Still, talking about ways to the top of the same mountain, right? I'm always saying that there is this bus that goes there, and the bus driver is that Austrian guy. Unfortunately, you won't understand him intellectually, but that doesn't really matter. You can just attend his meetings and just try it for yourself. Focus on him. I bet that you haven't seen and experienced any person who would be more present, more intense than this guy. Just focus on him, and by focusing on him, where you focus on, your energy goes, right? You can download these information, intensity, blah 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 blah. he's processing your karma substance. So he's like freeing you from your stuff without you noticing it. But what you will notice is that you're much lighter afterwards, that you're much more in flow, much more healed, right? And normally I could offer you to try it for a week for free with an affiliate link. I will state the contact details of his like Liberator Academy. I mean, Liberator Academy. That's so true. And I'd say you can maybe. I didn't ask them, but I'd say that if you ask them, being like, hey, I only speak English, I don't understand what he's saying, but a crazy girl on YouTube said, just go and try it. Could I try it for a month for free and see what happens? I believe they won't say no. Also, I'll ask them at some point and make a new video. But this is really like the bus going there to your core, to inner peace, to true choice. Because so often we react to life. We don't answer. We react out of our conditioning. I mean, Dispenza, right? Most of English speaking people from the spiritual niche know Dr. Joe Dispenza, who says, by the age of 35, 95% of who you are is an automated program. And maybe now you have an idea of what happens if I read a book or consume other intellectual stuff from YouTube. I just like how could you say that? But it's like in my mind I can quote it word to word most of the time. Tony Robbins once said, you have a software, most of us run that software so often we think we are the software. This is a psychological structure you want to get behind your monkey mind. And the Liberator Academy is like teaching you how to observe your mind, because when you're attending this Zoom call, you will get, by focusing on Marcus is it's a name that of course he doesn't identify with, of this Austrian guy. He's so present that if you focus on him, you will get very present too. And then you have an idea of what it's like, and then you can start observing your mind. Plus, he's freeing you from some energetical rubbish, let's say. There are also some videos of mine, I think 2 or 3 months ago, where I try to explain that phenomenon. There was one more thing that I wanted to add. I'm so sorry, probably this is going to be a no video. Shoot. Yes. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it until here, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Leave me a comment and see you in the next video. Bye bye.